And so like back when I was a kid growing up in India, like some of these stories were like very generically passed on to me, like from my mom telling me stories or my grandparents who were telling me stories. So my paternal grandparents always lived with us growing up. So like my grandmother used to tell me all these stories, and like for each festival or each ritual, she used to have a story behind why it is done. And back then it was like, oh, I used to just observe what she does and ask her questions and she would tell me stories. But then kids who are like raised here don't have that opportunity, right? They only meet their grandparents once a year or once a couple of years is when they meet them. So I started telling some of these stories like as bedtime stories to my own daughter. And when she then wanted to see how this character looks or how this person is, then I started like creating. So I do a bit of like drawing and canvas painting and things also as a hobby. So a mix of, so some of the illustrations in my books are a mix of my drawings, a mix of digital drawings, a mix of AI. It's got all of it. So I illustrate my own books. So that's kind of how the writing and books came to be. So I like doing that. And of course, I like doing the Wonder EA business also. So, like I said, that, and for me, I think more initially, I was keeping them all like different, right? Like all these different personas or the different hats I wore were like all separate from each other. But I think this year, I'm finally kind of converging all together. And when I talk on, like, say, podcasts or like even to people, I now talk about all the different hats I wear because in a way, like now I have realized myself that they're all not all that separate. They all come from the same place. It's basically the same values, the same support, everything. It's just different areas of life and for different set of people. So it's for children or for business. It's that being grounded in values, being stable, being supported. It's the same thing.
So how many books have you written?
So initially also with the writing, I did write one which is more of a professional book. So this is for businesses. This is called the Easy Equation.
Okay.
And my coaching practice now is based on the methodology or the framework I speak about in this book.
Okay.
And apart from that, I started when writing, like I said, books for my daughter. So there are about 6 books. It's called the Mystic India for Kids series.
So you have 6 kids books.
Yeah,
6.
but they're all
Wow.
smaller books. So yeah, they're like 6 different books. And like I said, these books are more for like the little kids. So they have like the coloring page elements.
Okay.
They also
Okay.
have stories. And like some books have like puzzles and things. So they have like puzzles.
Okay. Okay.
So it's basically for kids like probably under the age of 10 or 12. And they all are based on Hindu mythology, but then doesn't mean they're not religious texts or religious textbook kind of thing. But then it focuses more on like the values like patience or being brave or standing up for yourself, standing up for the right thing. So it's basically the values that are taught in those religious stories, but then I've written it in a way that it appeals to the little kids. And in some books, I also have like all books have like reflection questions or things that they can use to connect with their world today. And in some books, I also like have two stories. So there is an actual story that's retold, but there's also another parallel story where, so if the actual story is talking about like standing up for the right thing, then there's a parallel story talking about how a kid uses that knowledge to stand up to, say, a bully in the class. So I have like 2 stories.
Wow.